When we talk about evaluation, often we mix loads of different words up. I actually don't care what word you use as long as you're doing something, as long as you're doing some of this. But we'll just run through them. We've got visitor insight, which is more about market research. Testing, evaluation, monitoring, consultation and research. All different words, all mean slightly different things. As I say, I don't care which ones you use as long as you're doing something. However, there are slightly different meanings to them. So which is which? They're not the same. Monitoring is counting things and ensuring things are all on track all of the time. So monitoring data, an example of that would be counting how many people come through your admissions desk every day. How many families there are, how many kids, how many adults, that's monitoring data. You might use monitoring data as part of your evaluation, which is where things get really confused, which is why I don't really care what you call it.
Ooh, no, it's fine.
Okay. I got alarmed there, even though I was told not to get alarmed. Evaluation is looking at the impact of a project or a product or a programme at a specific point. It's not just keep doing it all the time, it's at a specific point. So we take a snapshot. Consultation is talking to the audience or stakeholders to see what they think and would like, and including them in the planning process. Testing does what it says on the tin, testing something out, see whether it works, and it can be part of your evaluation. Research tends to be a lot more formal. So you might do any of those on any project. Consultation is one of those things that is great to include in developing a project, and co-production might be something that you might use. So that's moving on from just consultation, it's really involving people within the planning process. So that's really working with your audience to develop interpretation rather than developing something for the audience and going, ta-da, here we go, you'll love it. Why don't you love it? Oh, we forgot to ask you what you might love or work with you. Oh, surprise, surprise. Doesn't quite work as we expected. So yeah, co-production, and that is a real hot topic at the moment, and hot in terms of funders too, co-producing with your audience. But you've got to have the time and capacity to actually do that. Great for developing new audiences and for really breaking down those boundaries between your organisation and the audience. Evaluation can be front-end, before a project, formative, during a project, summative at the end of a project, or retrospective, like your interpretation audit, looking back on something that's all been in place for a while. And as a consultant, and probably some of the other guys who are freelancers, you often get asked to do retrospective evaluations, or actually your model was a bit like a retrospective evaluation. It was kind of, we've done the project, we'll wait quite a long while, and then we do the evaluation. And probably the most common forms of evaluation are the summative and retrospective, because people have to do it for funding reasons. They're expected to produce an evaluation report at the end of a project. Some people are afraid of evaluation because they feel like it's testing or being inspected, but actually what we need to create is a atmosphere of testing, open and honesty, you know, that it's okay to fail sometimes and it's okay to try new things, because otherwise then we won't ever take risks and do something a bit different.